Well, Susanna, the students are now in Tower Week where they'll continue learning the basics of becoming a paratrooper, and as you can see behind me, will drop from the 250-foot tower.
I'm going to take all directions from this gentleman right here. He's going to tell you to let up, and he's going to tell you which set of riders you need to pull so that you can land safely. Roger that. Arm one!
We call it Tower Week because everybody focuses on that 250-foot tower.
Welcome to Week 2 at Jump School, where these airborne students will get the opportunity to drop from those famous fort bending attractions, the 250-foot towers. But first they'll continue learning the basics.
We've got the suspended harness, which helps the jumper with the lateral drift, pulling a good two-riser slip opposite direction and drift, getting that good prepared to land attitude, so reinforcing that. And then we'll move over to the swing landing trainer, which is also a good apparatus for correcting any deficiencies prior to a parachute landing fall. Most injuries occur during the parachute landing fall, and it's keeping those feet and knees together.
The most significant part about the second week is learning how to land properly. Everybody knows the swing landing trainer and how evil that can seem, but it really builds in muscle memory of how to land properly with your feet and knees together, pulling the right slip. And it's the difference between having a good landing and a great landing in an airborne operation.
And having a great landing also requires learning how to deal with and fix any issues that may arise while jumping.
Teach them how to avoid collisions and entanglements. Teach them if I'm drifting towards wires, how to get out the wires, trees, how to get out the trees, water, and they also get taught how to activate the reserve using the full drop method.
After improving their skills using the suspended harness and the swing landing trainers, the students progress to the mock doors where they'll learn actions in the aircraft and mass exit techniques.
It's teaching them not to rush the door, not to stall in the door, trying to get that 1 second interval between you and the jumper in front of you, and it's pretty much teaching them this is pretty close to what it's going to be like jumping out of the actual aircraft.
1,000, 2,000.
Once the basics are instilled, the students will return to the 34-foot towers and put it all into action.
They'll continue to jump out of the 34-foot towers. This time they'll do it with a mass exit technique. In other words, instead of one at a time, they'll jump four at a time, 1, 2, 3, 4, with about a 1 second interval between the jumpers.
If they can flow fluently here in the 34-foot mock tower using mass exit technique, they're going to do it in Jump Week.
After they've successfully completed all required mass exits, it's now time for the students to get their first real taste of what it's like to be airborne.
When we have good weather and we have the right amount of time and everything else, we like to try to get every student off the 250-foot tower.
We've got Sergeant Airborne that's going to activate the system to actually free you from the tower, and you'll go ahead and descent. And there will be a coach there coaching you down to pull that two-riser slip opposite direction and drift, and prepare for the parachute landing fall. It's a graded exercise, and it just helps to enforce moving into the Jump Week, everything that we've taught throughout Tower Weeks.
If a student gets a chance to jump from that 250-foot tower, that is a great thing for them. And like I said, it is a big confidence booster.
Let up, let up. Right slip, pull your right center risers. Pull it deep in your chest and hold it. Feet knees together, and down sternal risers. Rings coming down, rings coming down, rings coming down.
The students who successfully made it through Tower Week will now move on to Phase 3, or Jump Week, where they'll put all of their training to the test and go airborne over Fort Benning.